modern imperialism, which is the election of Donald Trump. What do you feel like it means for Trump to be at the head of American imperial power at this time?
It really depends from whose perspective you're asking. So for instance, let's take the situation from around the world. During Biden's presidency, the United States, and I'm talking just today, I'm just talking about the last 24 hours, okay? The last 24 hours of Biden's presidency. Number one, his ambassador to the United Nations vetoed a ceasefire resolution in the UN General Assembly, 14-1. That means it didn't go through. Number two, he allowed the Ukrainian government to fire US long-range missiles onto Russian territory. I mean, you put these two things together and you think from the perspective of a child in Gaza, or from the perspective of anybody who doesn't want to see World War III break out, could Trump be any worse? Like, could you be any worse than genocide? Could you be any worse than planetary destruction? In that sense, from the perspective of, let's say, planetary destruction or a young child in Gaza, there is no real, maybe qualitative difference between the presidency coming of Trump and of Mr. Biden. In fact, interestingly, if you take a hard-boiled look at it, the Trump presidency might entangle itself in a set of contradictions that could actually provoke different outcomes. For instance, Henry Kissinger produced a giant book called China, where he made a very respectable argument in US foreign policy circles, arguing that one of the most dangerous things in the planet for the United States is if China and Russia get closer together and then dominate, effectively the largest landmass, habitable landmass, which is Eurasia. So Kissinger suggested that the way to